What's up, everybody? It is Casey, and this is the YouTube segment. Haha, gotcha. So, what's up, buddy?
Not much. I read through most of my books today and
Same.
lots of good stuff out this week.
So, I was running behind on my stuff, and I was like, well, I'll take some and I'll read at lunch. So I grabbed my comics, but then I noticed while I was getting my phone charger, I had left Superboy at home. So, I've not read Superboy, which I'm a little
Ah,
disappointed with.
me too, because I thought it was the best one yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so solid so far. So, I'm gonna have to read it right after this. But
Yeah. Uh I've lost a pound since you and I last
ooh,
talked.
nice. Yeah. So we can tell the YouTube audience, all me. And you were like, oh, I'm not enjoying, you know, where I'm at on the scale. And like I've always been that way. So we're both gonna be doing a summer shred.
We
Insert
are.
guitar music.
I'm amped up. I'm motivated, ready for it. So
Same here,
started
dude.
this week. Um, just to give everyone a time frame, and we'll see where we're at the end of summer.
Yeah, like Saturday, since I knew this was coming, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out big, and I got myself the big New Yorker because it's supposed to be a turtles themed. Like, they're gonna have and then like my Pizza Hut did not have a turtles themed big New Yorker box. I'm like, oh well, this is still delicious. So I, ate all of it and was like, well, this is a good starting point. So what are you doing basically for your summer shred?
uh Focusing heavily on the diet because I
Yep.
was not eating great. And then, as you know, I've been super heavy into golf this year. There's lots of steps involved in that, so I'm going to keep that up. And then my lady and I usually take pretty good walks where I'm just going to try to uh, do more when that happens, or more
Nice.
often, maybe, whichever
Yeah.
one. So, um, and I'll probably work on some other stuff once I feel a little bit better.
Yeah. What all have you switched food wise? Because I know you were saying like you were texting me like, dude, I'm feeling more energized and I'm feeling fuller. Because like I'll be honest, when I switch to healthier foods, I'll be like full while I'm eating, and then like afterwards, I'm like, well, boy, I could sure eat all of that again.
Yeah. I mean, my big problem is snacking.
Yeah.
Uh, I know I wasn't eating good snack stuff. So to fix that, I mean, I've always sort of meal prepped lunches,
Mhm.
but I was on the TikTok and some guy posted a like a chicken wrap, um, like a healthy chicken wrap. So I mean, there's not much to it. It's just tortilla. Um, I don't know. I doubt you like it because I haven't heard you talk about it before. Avocado, really like avocado.
I
Um,
Avocado is not something I'd ever get out of bed for, but I don't. It's not like the myriad of vegetables I hate. Like if you're like, hey, here's some avocado, I'm like, well, okay, I'll eat it. But for me personally, I don't like it enough for the calories that it has, and I don't think it's nutrient dense enough for me to also be like eating it.
well, as far as fats go, it's definitely one of the healthier fats.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's what helps keep me feeling a little fuller because I'll do that wrap. It's just heavily seasoned chicken, avocado spread, and then some mixed greens. Sometimes I'll do a little bell pepper in there too. And I'll do two of those. It's like 500 calories and it'll keep me full all afternoon, which is really nice. And
Nice, dude.
normally when I eat, I'm like, oh, I could really use a nap. Not after I eat these. I'm
Yeah,
like ready to keep going, which is really what I need.
yeah, for sure. I made myself, so I've been making these for forever, but it's so good. And you can do this too if you want. I mean, it's nothing special, but it's like I follow this guy, or I used to follow this guy named Greg Doucette. He's like really annoying, so that's why I kind of stopped following. But he would do these like anabolic foods, and so like he did anabolic pizza, and so basically you just get I get these flatbreads from Aldi. They're like 9 grams of protein, like pretty low calorie, high fiber, and you can get any type you want. I put that in the air fryer for like 4 minutes, let it crisp up, and then I cook up a meat of my choice. Slap on some marinara, put the meat. Today I did ground chicken, and I slapped on that, and I put cheese on top, and that's it. And it was like pretty damn low calories, and it's butt ton of protein. It was
Nice.
yeah. So my dinner was 533 grams or 533 calories, not grams of protein. That'd be wild.
That would be
43
insane.
43 grams of protein, 26 grams of fat, and 37 carbs.
Okay. What's your what's your calorie cap for a day?
So the one MyFitnessPal gives me is 2,700, but what I'm going to be doing, it's just going to be starting this week. Like my step goal. So like this is how I'm like doing it. It's like step goal. I'm going to try to get 12,000 steps on average for the week, plus doing about 45 minutes of cardio at minimum, and then also weights, like a gym session. So that's 3 times a week for the gym session, full body workout. And then as the goes on, my 2,700 calories the next week is gonna be 2,500, and I'm gonna be slowly lowering it until I get to about 2,200, and see how I feel from there, and just see how it's going.
Nice. Mine is 2190. I don't usually go over that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I use my fitness pal too, and I put in my goals and what I weigh. I was like, that still seems like a lot, but at least I know that I'm not gonna go over it, I guess.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Whenever like it's so weird. Whenever I'm like doing my fitness pal and trying to eat right, I'm like, boy, this is a lot of calories. But then like when I do my fitness pal and I'm eating like shit, I'm like, boy, this is barely any calories.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, Godspeed to us both.
Yeah, man. We're gonna, just so you know, after the summer shred is over, we are going to do a shirtless podcast for charity. The charity is like how much money you'll give us until we put our shirts back on.
and we can hold out for a while.
Yeah, because like we're gonna be sexy as shit, but we're gonna be
Yeah.
pasty as hell. So like that's really like people are like, ooh, they're translucent with their shirts off. Well, you better pay up.
Yep. I love that idea. All right, Mad Lib.
Let's do it.
This one's titled Sheriff for the Weekend.
Ooh.
But like the weekend as in not the music artist, but like
Okay.
the end of the week.
Oh, okay. I see. I don't know enough about him to know any like oh, okay. Like he did the Super Bowl, right?
He did. I think he's got some good songs, but
yeah. I could not place his music. I'll be honest. But that's not even me trying to be like the cool hipster guy of the group. I have no clue.
Right. That's a cool shirt, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Just noticed it.
It's got some oil on it, but they're all sitting on the Friends couch, and underneath it says Friends.
Nice. I like that. All right. Plural part of the body.
Oof. Let's go with Bimballs.
A place.
Let's say the Super Bowl.
A color.
The color your pee is when you should go see the doctor. Like it's like a little bit like, but you're not sure. It's like it's reddish, like reddish and neon green because your pee is normally neon green and it's red this time. You're like, oh, should I go see the doctor? Shouldn't I? Not sure.
Noun.
Um, Sonic.
Article of clothing.
Jockstrap.
Vehicle.
Monster truck.
Adjective.
Let's say I'm trying to go with like one I haven't used before. Shiny. I was like sticky. No, done that. Hairy, done that.
An occupation.
Um, let's say the guy that has to jerk off the cows to get the semen. Are the bulls, not cows. The bull milker. You can just put that, it'd be easier.
Well, I started to write something, so I'll just say guy who
Okay.
milks bulls. Noun.
House.
Okay. Adjective.
Sleepy.
Person.
Can't be anyone or it has to be in the room.
Anyone.
Ooh. Let's go with our personal hero, Pee Wee Herman.
I thought you were going to go with the weekend since he
Oh.
used the Super Bowl.
Again. I forget he exists.
Well, you said Super Bowl, so I was like, as soon as I ask for a person, he's going to say the weekend.
100%. That was the plan, and then I forgot the weekend was a person.
Okay.
Put him down.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not an act that I don't know who he is. I know he's the meme of like running through and like there's mirrors everywhere.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Oh boy, a type of liquid.
Ooh, boy, a big old glass of cum. Yum.
You really get on one when we do these.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be extra stupid when I have to read the words that come before big old glass of cum, by the way. Type of food.
Let's go with pizza with pineapple on top.
Past tense verb.
Fuck.
An exclamation. You can't say wow. You've done that twice in a row.
That's true. That's true. Let's just go with fuck.
Adjective.
Pale.
Wait, what? Pale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said tail. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not an adjective.
That is. You're looking. Hey, Jake, you're looking very tail tonight.
Okay. Pale. Part of the body.
I'm gonna go with the taint.
I should never be surprised.
I was leaning nipple, but I was like, nah, taint's where it's at.
Number
60.
Oh, this is gonna be a doozy.
So that's the thing. When you have guests on and they don't get like as filthy, I'm just like, guys, what are you doing? You're missing out.
Yeah, I agree.
Missing out.
All right, sheriff for the weekend. Wade couldn't believe his balls. Tom had appointed him acting sheriff of the Super Bowl for a whole weekend. He would wear a shiny, questionably piss-colored star-shaped Sonic on his police-issued jockstrap and cruise the streets in Tom's patrol monster truck, a shiny dream come true. Wade always knew he was meant to be a sheriff, not a guy who milks bulls or a house worker. He wasn't just going to make Tom proud. He would make his friend sleepy. So stupid. The town was in good hands with Sheriff Wade the Weekend in charge. To celebrate, Wade stopped at the local cafe for a cup of big old glass of cum and a freshly baked pizza with pineapple on top.
What a fucking freak.
You made him this way. He left the police cruiser running while he fucked inside. Now he'd be stuck. Wait. No, sorry.
I forgive you.
He left the police cruiser running while he fucked inside. When he came out, the car was gone. Fuck! Now he'd be stuck riding his pale police bicycle with a helmet on his taint. Tom was going to be furious. After all, Wade had been the sheriff for less than 69 minutes.
That
was good. That was
was
good.
a good one.
Damn. Sometimes the exclamation is just perfect.
Yeah. I know I said I forgive you, but I don't think God forgives us for making that.
Nope. I don't think so either.
Oh, really quick, I want to tell you about something kind of funny that I just remembered. So, you know how you have those like little fidgety things that I saw in your car?
Yep.
I got myself this ice cube maker. That's exact. It's just it's a bigger version of that. You just fill it up, and you push them out. And like when I was walking on the store, I'm like, I get why Jake does this. This is fun.
It is fun, man. We used to have one of those, and then after like a week, I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's just a pain in the ass to poke every single one of them out.
I mean, it is, but that's all that Walmart had. So I was like, well, this is what I'm living with.
Yeah. Is it normal cube size or are they smaller?
It's smaller cubes. Like they're weird shaped because it's like probably about the same size. Like they're about yay, but then it kind of like oblongs in the butt.
Okay.
But I'm like, whatever. I really would rather have a fridge does it for me or an ice maker, but apparently I live in 1950s.
I do too, man. It's all good. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
What's up, everybody? It's Casey with Two Worlds Podcast, and with me as always, it's that guy North Star married. You remember that? To my North Star. What's up, everybody? Finishing Pride Week, Pride Month strong.
Yes, we are. I love that I don't even have a name.
I mean, I know he does have a name, but like he's very much just the guy that North Star married because they wanted to have a gay couple get married and have them on the cover. Because it's like, I don't remember anyone really talking about this relationship until the marriage.
His name is Kyle.
Oh, of course it is. It's like the blandest. He is the blandest character too. Like anytime he shows up, he's just like, "Hey, honey, what's going on?" And North Star is just like being a dick, and he's like, "Okay, honey, nice talking. And he walks away. It's like, come on, Kyle, stand up for yourself.
Unbelievable. Kyle deserves better.
He does. Just like you. But you're stuck with me.
I am. Let's get into our abysmal news week.
Yeah.
There just was not shit.
So Harley Quinn is the season 4 is going to drop on Max on July 27th. So I know you're probably pretty excited about that because you like it. Is that a show you just wait to binge, or do you watch it just weekly?
I'm gonna say wait to binge because I didn't watch all of season 1 until it was all out.
Mm-hmm.
I probably watched season 2 weekly, but then season 3 I binge. So it's just one of those things where it's like, will I remember that it's coming out weekly? Then yeah, I'll check it out.
I got you, man.
It's good though. It's really good. Highly suggested to anybody that's looking for a comedy. Harley is not as insufferable as you expect her to be.
You don't have anything? You want me to keep going?
Oh no, I do. I just
Okay.
I didn't know if you were gonna say anything.
No, like I just never could get into it. I think it's one of those things, same thing as like Deadpool, where I'm like, oh yeah, you're just your punchline is the word fuck. Got it. And
Yeah.
that shit just gets annoying.
I don't think the show's really like that though.
Okay.
But you know,
I don't have Max anymore. I dropped it because I was like, you dropping HBO, I'm dropping you. I don't need fucking Chip and Joanne tell me how to decorate my house.
Okay. Anyway, I know I should save this absolute bombshell for last, but the El Muerto movie starring Bad Bunny has been canceled.
Well, I think that's good news for all of us Madam Web heads.
Yep.
Because like they're just expanding that universe more. Like that's what it's got to be. They're like, hey, no more Bad Bunny movie. Madam Web movie universe.
I hope that whenever they show the title for this first Madam Web movie, it says part 1 of 12.
Dude, that's just the first movie though.
Right, yeah.
It's part 1 of 12 and then the sequel.
But it's gonna be a trilogy.
Yeah, it's a trilogy, part 1 of 12, and then they also have like its own TV shows that Amazon will be doing,
Yep.
for the Madam Web verse. So we're very excited, Sony. If you're listening, I've been a long time PlayStation player, so Jake hasn't. So if you don't want to cast him, that's fine. But if you could just put us in, we will fly our fucking selves out there. If you could just put us in a scene of Madam Web.
Yep.
So fucking cool.
Even if it's just killing us.
Even if it's just us going, hey, look at that. That's Madam Web. Great.
When they haven't said her name yet.
Yeah. Maybe, hey, Sony, here's another idea. Shoot a scene in St. Louis. I hear there's a comic book shop there and everything. Just tossing ideas out.
Yep. I can talk to the guy and let you guys in there. You can film there on free.
There you go. Let us know down below, who should we play in Madam Web? Should I be Madam Web? Should Jake? Should we be Peter Parker's parents? Because I hear they're supposed to be in it. Could they recast us as Peter Parker's parents? Who knows?
Please, that is my dream role.
I mean, he's read all of their appearances in the comics.
I have.
We're dumb. Speaking of dumb movies, we got the Kraven the Hunter trailer. Did you see that?
Boy, did I. That dude, I can't believe it's real.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I'm going to say this. I think this movie could have been awesome if it was like 20 years ago. And what's his name that's playing Kraven's dad? Russell Crowe.
Mm-hmm.
If he was Kraven, I'd be like, oh boy, this is going to be really good. But with no fucking like personality Johnson playing Kraven the Hunter, I'm like, we're supposed to suffer through this wet rag of a human being while he's like, I have lion blood in me, and that's why I'm such a alpha animal now. It's like, get out of here.
Here's the thing though, dude. I think it is gonna be awesome, but for all the wrong
Yeah.
reasons.
No,
I mean, it's gonna be like
that's how
it's
I would
like
have.
Punisher Warzone levels of
That's
goofy
what I thought
action.
it would have been had it been like a Russell Crowe or someone
Mm.
with a personality. But like with him, it's just gonna be like, hey guys, I'm gonna fight you now.
Except he's Charlie Sheen, right?
Yeah,
I
he's like,
got
I
I
got.
got tiger's blood.
Except he doesn't have that. He doesn't have any charisma. He's just like, I'm a lion man now.
Now, I'll be the first to admit, I don't know that much about Craven, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't bitten by a lion.
No, it's like he
He's
took.
just like peak human strength, right?
Yeah, he also. I mean, in all fairness, being like, oh, it's so ridiculous. He got bit by a lion, and this is how he did. Because it's like, oh yeah, you mean the guy that I'm pretty sure he took special herbs and all this other shit too that added to it.
You're
And he
right.
also had a fucking vest that shoots laser beams out of the nipples. He's a ridiculous character that's just cool. So like
Yeah.
it does the ridiculousness isn't the issue. I mean, it's like just lean into the ridiculousness and get a good actor that can like have a personality. I think it would work, but it's just like, my God, that dude is just like you could have a potato playing Craven the Hunter and it'd have more personality. Like, holy crap, that guy's terrible.
I honestly can't wait. I will go see it in theaters. I can't wait. It's gonna
I
be
just
so bad.
I love you like being like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna wait for streaming for these Marvel movies. Craven the Hunter, you say? Sign me up.
Okay, but tell me which one's gonna make me laugh more. It's gonna be Craven.
Fair enough, man.
It's like, yeah, I could watch the same old cookie cutter bullshit with Ant-Man 3, or I could go watch this absolute dumpster fire and enjoy every second of it. So, that's how it is.
Fair enough, buddy.
All
Let us
right.
let us know if you're excited for Craven the Hunter. And should Jake be in it?
Should I be Craven the Hunter?
You'd have more personality.
All right.
We're in a mood tonight.
We are in a mood tonight. I love it. More casting stuff. In regards to Superman Legacy, did you see this stuff earlier, Casey?
I've seen just more rumors where he's almost done. Like we're like the only non-rumor is James Gunn saying I'm almost done casting, and everyone else is like, oh, I'm speculating. And
All
that's
right.
it.
So the newest thing is that actors were put in pairs for Clark and Lois for screen tests, and those included Nicholas Hoult and Rachel Brosnahan, Tom Brittany and Phoebe Dynevor, and then David Cornsweet and Emma Mackey. Now,
I hope old Corn Sweat wins.
here's the thing. I do too, because out of all 6 of those people, I only knew Nicholas Hoult. I Googled the other 2 guys. If you put glasses on David Cornsweet, that's Clark Kent, dude.
Well, I mean, he knows how corns sweat, so he's ready for the Clark side of it for sure.
Here, I'll pull up a picture and share my screen.
Yeah, I know. Like I guess a lot of the other guy, like or at least one of the other guys, looks an awful lot like Henry Cavill, which is like that's a bit weird that they're casting someone that looks a lot like old HC, which it's also like a lot of guys. When you like think back, it's like yeah, a lot of guys kind of do look like him. Like none of them are as hunky, but like Matthew Bonner looks a lot like him. And then there's like a few other guys who are like, oh, yeah, these white dudes all look kind of alike.
Yeah,
it's like they must have came out of the same mold. It's like they all kept, they kept making them, and they're like, we perfected it at Henry.
Right. Okay, so here's Tom Brittany. I guess this is the one that they're saying looks like Henry a bit. I can kind of see it.
I can kind of see that too.
But here's old Cornsweet. And like, come on.
Yeah, he needs to beef up though. He needs to get on that get some of those special
Needs to
protein
be on
shakes.
the corn diet.
And he needs to get some of those special protein shakes that old Hugh Jackman was talking about. There was an interview where he was talking about, he's like, yeah, I've started splitting my pants because my legs are getting so big. And it's like, yeah, it must be them protein shakes I'm taking. It's like, ooh, the Trenbolone protein shakes, bud.
He knew what he was saying.
Oh yeah. No, he's 100% just being like, oh, I don't do steroids.
Yeah.
Like, you, dude, you're 100 and you're looking amazing. Like, don't worry about it. We all know.
Yeah. And we don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm hoping it's all corn sweat. One, because we've just been making fun of his name, and two, I don't know. It'd just be nice to have someone I've never heard of before doing it, so that I don't have, it doesn't sway my expectations one way or the other.
Yeah.
So we'll see if any of that has any meaning.
What if like Corn Sweat was actually reading for Lois?
Well, then I guess she'd be pretty attractive.
Okay. I'll mention this. A Godzilla Jet Jaguar short film has been announced for Godzilla Fest 2023 because it's Jet Jaguar's birthday that year, along with Megalon. So I have a feeling Megalon will be in it. It's going to be similar to like the Hedorah one that they did and the Gigan one that they did too.
Did you like those?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, if you like Suitmation, that type of stuff, you're going to like this. If you don't like that stuff, you probably don't like Godzilla.
Yeah. All right. We're getting some more Bloodborne comics in September. Same creative team that did this last series that I liked. That's Colin Bunn on the writing and Peter Kowalski on the art. So looking forward to that. Hopefully it keeps up with that last series.
Right on. Okay, so Crunchyroll's adding 15 Dragon Ball movies. They're all Z movies except for Broly. But yeah, so we're getting all of those. It's kind of fun. I mean, I don't have Crunchyroll. It makes me I kind of want it just for this because I think that'd be pretty cool to be able to watch some of them because there's a lot I haven't seen and I hear some of them are really good. I've just always been a continuity nerd. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It's not real. And I'm like, oh yeah, none of it is. So but so I think it could be cool. Are you at all interested in that?
Yeah, and I have Crunchyroll, so I can hook you up with that login, broski.
Ooh, thanks, bud.
So yeah, that should be fun. I've definitely not seen all 15. I've seen maybe 5, and I'm always like, damn, this is cool.
Yeah, because I know I've seen like the Tree of Might or whatever, then Dead Zone, and then I've seen like the cooler ones. And
the cooler ones were my favorite when I was a kid.
See, like those two came on Cartoon Network when Dragon Ball Z was being made fun of at school. So I was like, I was like watching it like watching like in the closeted watching it type of thing. But then there was another one though where like I don't remember the name of it, but like one year for Christmas, me, Liz, and Nick all got Dragon Ball Z tapes, and one of us got one with the yellow guy that was like fat, like Goku does the Kamehameha wave in his stomach and like it and shoots back at him.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of that one, but we had that. I've seen that one too.
I don't know if I don't think I've seen that whole movie, but I've seen clips of that part.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. My last bit of news. Werewolf by Night and Elsa Bloodstone are going to team up for an oversized one-shot this September. Derek Landy will be writing it with Fran Gallen on the art. I am all about that. I like both of those characters, and I think that's going to be a fun special. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out for sure too. And our last bit of news, this is big news for both of us too. HBO, Universal, Marvel, and Netflix are all skipping San Diego Comic-Con because of the writer strike. And to make it official, so are we. We stand with the writers. It's not because we weren't invited or it's all the way in San Diego. It's because of the writer strike alone.
We had everything booked. We had the hotel lined up. Our flight was already paid for, but we're like, no,
Yeah,
we're
we had to
not
tell
doing it.
them they're taking a big hit because of this, because of you guys, of how you demanded us there, and but we just said no. Writer strike is more important.
We were going to moderate panels. It was going to be great, but what can you do?
C2E2, better make sure this writer strike's over.
Just kidding. We'll be there. All right. That is the end of the news, man.
Yep.
What did you read this week?
Ooh, Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
You'll never get it from me.
Shit.
Sorry to everybody.
I read I Am Iron Man at number 4. I Hate Fairyland, number 6. I Am Wildsend. It's not I Am. I just wanted to do another I one. I Hellcat, number 4. I Godzilla, There Be Dragons. I Am Batgirls, number 19. Should I stop doing the I Am? I don't know, but I'm the world's finest, number 16. Superman, number 5. Incredible Hulk, number 1. And Saga, number 65.
All right. And I had a Cyborg 2, Scarlett Witch Annual 1, Last Barbarians 5, Superboy, Man of Tomorrow 3, Nightwing 105, Wonder Woman 800, World's Finest 16, Batgirls 19, Godzilla Yar There Be Dragons 1, Saga 65, and Incredible Hulk number 1.
No Superman?
Oh, guess I forgot that one. Well, we both were a couple of knuckleheads this week. All right, I'll kick us off here. I might have one or two more.
It sounded like you had a whole laundry list, honestly.
So we'll start with Cyborg number 2. It's written by Morgan Hampton with art by Tom Rainey and Valentine DeLandro. It's all right. I doubt I pick up the next one. I just don't care about the story too much. Like it's not bad. It's just not great either. But essentially, Vic's dad died, but his consciousness got uploaded into this robot, and this robot has powers and wants to help Vic, but Vic doesn't trust it. And then also it looks like the Silas AI has been uploaded to other places as well, which everyone seems to think is a problem on the last page. And that's where it ends. So like the last couple pages were where it was interesting, but it was kind of a slog to get to that point. So yeah, I don't know. I'm like at a 6 out of 10.
All right, since you talked about that book, I'm going to talk about this one. This is one that I was like kind of on the fence about. I like Dan Abnett, so that's why I picked it up. But Wildsend cover, wow, so good, such a good cover. The story though, it's by Dan Abnett and I.N.J. Colberg did the lettered and did the art, and it's like a bunch of animals that are humans basically doing sailor work. The head skipper is like, this is his last go around. He's old, he gets mixed up and stuff, but the radio messes up, and then they get it back to working, and there's no fish, and they're kind of arguing stuff, and they get back to the shore and no one's there. Everyone's disappeared. And they're like, hey, we found some shoes. And they're like, hey, his feet are still in them. And that's how it ends. And like, boy, this, like you said, this was a slog to get through. I was like, I do not care. And like, the worst part is they're all British, which is like, boy, reading accents sucks. I hate it. Especially when it's like the most mundane shit. Like, oh man. I don't care at all. Like this is supposed to be the book that gets you like invested in the characters, and I am not. But it's like at the end, I'm like, did they drag me back in with that one interesting bit at the very end? Probably not, because it's a 3 out of 10 for me.
Oh gosh, me waiting on you to give your, grade was more of a hook than that story,
Yeah, it's just like honestly, it just drug and drug and drug, and it did not like the characters were not like charming in any way, and maybe had they had not had terrible accents that I had to read, I'd enjoy it more. But holy crap, that
I
was
feel
rough.
you. All right. Scarlet Witch Annual #1, written by Steve Orlando with art by Carlos Nieto. And this whole thing is like a team up between Wanda and old Mommy Harkness because she's
She's
young
looking,
again.
yeah, she's looking better than she ever did. Like, thank God they cast her in the TV show, so they're like, we got to make her hot now.
Yep. And make her hot they did. So yeah, they kind of duke it out, but then they team up and have a little friendship moment. And then at the end, Agatha sort of goes crazy and rips the heart out of this demon. So that has something to do with the story. But anyway, it's all set up for this little mini event called Contest of Chaos, which I'll probably read because I've been digging this series. So yeah, I don't know. Good stuff. It's fun. The art's solid. And I'm just kind of a sucker for all this magic stuff. So we'll see. Oh, I just realized that the Contest of Chaos checklist is just a bunch of annuals for Spider-Man and Iron Man and Fantastic Four. And wouldn't you know it, Casey, I don't give a fuck. So I'm probably
Yeah,
not going to be reading that.
yeah, I feel you.
But this was good enough. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Right on. So I Am Iron Man issue 4 by Maria A. Odell and Dotun Akande. So this is pretty neat. Tony's eating his, got a strange dinner because he's eating with Doctor Strange. And they like to hang out together. And Tony's like, "Can you see that?" And then Doctor Strange is like, says all the different magic crap that he can see because he's always, and Tony's like, "No, like he's like, none of that's what I'm seeing." And so then he gets other magic people, then he gets Moon Knight, and he gets Spider-Man. All of them are like, "No, no, no, no," And this is also like would have been when Tony was head of Shield times, so he's not the most beloved hero right now. And then Doctor Strange does some magic-y stuff. Tony shows him all of his armors that he uses to try to stop his friends, basically. So there's the Hulk Buster and the Thor Buster and all that stuff, the filibuster. And then there's this there's this murder that's happening, and like basically Tony's been compromised. He's doesn't know how, but then Doctor Strange is like, "Hey, I figured out what it was," and they killed the thing. As Doc is like, "I figured out what it was," and like it turns out it's called Lock and Key. The monsters are locks, and the thing that had been killing people it's called a key. It infects people. It does this stuff, and then it once they get killed, and once it's killed, it opens the locks. It was a neat concept, and they stop it. They were able to figure out how to do that. They put the thing in this space that Tony made, and then afterwards, Doctor Strange is like, a weapon that uses almost infinite power of the cosmic cube to cancel out mystical energy. If I left a part of my spell in that contraption, Tony, is this your Strange Buster? It's like, you truly have no limits. And then he flies off upset, and his like little guy's like, "Mr. Stark, your friend is not pleased. Should we destroy the weapon?" And Tony, in his most Batman fashion, is like, "No." Like that's pretty good. This was like a weaker issue in my opinion for like what's been a really solid Iron Man thing, but like I still liked it a lot. I'm gonna go 6.5, right on the cusp of 7. It is good. It's just like much weaker than the rest of these I am Iron Man stories.
Right on.
Oh, and the art in it though is spectacular. I'll just toss that out there too.
Okay, The Last Barbarians, number 5. It's the final issue. It's written by Brian Haberlin and Hannah Wall, with art by Brian Haberlin. This was a spectacularly disappointing final issue. It's just one of those things where like this could have gone on for a lot longer, and they decided to wrap it up in like the last 4 pages.
Yeah.
And you cannot wrap up high fantasy in 4 pages. You can't do it. So yeah, art really good. I just hated how it ended. It's just so the bad guy's dead, and then they're all back in the tavern sharing a beer the next page, and then they lived happily ever after. That just pisses me off so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give that a 4. And gosh, as a whole, I don't know. That really brings it down. I really wouldn't recommend it. So whatever.
Okay, so I Hate Fairyland, number 6. Not like it's been a while. It's been a while.
Since I read I Hate Fairyland.
And it feels like it has. But it's written by Scotty Young and drawn by Brett Bean. Brett Bean does a really good job of capturing Scotty Young's style while also being different enough that it still works. We get weird characters like a weredoodle. It's a werewolf designer breed. It's a cross between a werewolf and a poodle. So that was pretty funny. They're trying to find a way to kill Gert, and they get some people to do it, which
Here's
is
my question.
fun little thing at the end.
Why is everyone out to get her?
Because the last series, she was just such a royal asshole. She killed a lot of people. She still would be killing people, but no, she was just a murdering machine. But the one thing that she was bad at was actually going home. She just sucked at the whole main purpose. But boy, could she murder people! And so she's just like this terrible asshole of murdering ball of chaos, like chaotic evil. Just think of like the most chaotic evil thing, and that was like younger. This girl's not as bad. She's still an asshole, probably more chaotic neutral, but so and so they got a plan to try to kill her. It's interesting. I'm really excited to see where the next issue goes. I'm gonna 8.5. Liked it a lot.
Good. All right, next up for me is Superboy, Man of Tomorrow 3. And it's written by Kenny Porter with art by Janoy Lindsay. But I really got to show you this variant cover by Ricardo Lopez Ortiz because it's so anime and it's fucking awesome.
That is great.
Like one of the coolest covers ever. I love it. That would be the box art cover for the Superboy Man of Tomorrow DVD from 2004. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so good. But yes, this was a pretty cool issue. I think it's my favorite of the 3 issues that have been out. It's really sort of it's found its stride, and it's setting up cool stuff with the invaders. This group that Connor's hanging out with may not be all that they seem like. And at the end, a pretty cool development with a Green Lantern. So nice. It's good stuff. It's just fun, cosmic DC stuff. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And I'm curious, Casey, what you think of it once you read it.
I'll text you about it. So next up for me, it's Hellcat, number 4 by Christopher Cantwell and Alex Lenz on the art. I love the art in this series. I mean, it just works really well. I'll try to get a Good picture. Yeah, here. Just if you guys don't know what it looks like, that's what it looks like. It just works for this series. I absolutely love it. This story itself, I'm like, it's kind of going off the rails. I'm still like in for the ride, but I don't know how, and I don't know if I'm enjoying the ride as much as I was in the earlier issues. But we kind of get the reveal of like what the plan was with the door and all that stuff. It's still solid, but it's not as good as it was. Like I remember, like the first issue, I was like, "Oh my god!" Now I'm like, "You're losing me." But I'm gonna go 6 on this issue.
All right. Next, I'll talk about Nightwing 105. It's written by Tom Taylor with art by Bruno Redondo. The only neat thing about this issue, and you can tell from the cover, the whole thing is in first person for Dick.
Mm-hmm.
Now for when it gets dumb. So I don't remember Dick's sister knowing anyone else's secret identity. Like she knows that Dick is Nightwing, but she FaceTimes Dick and he answers, and he's there with Barbara. And the sister's like, Nightwing, a biological weapon has been stolen and is loose in Bloodhaven. And Babs is like, we're on our way, and just gears up as Batgirl. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess she knows her identity now too. I don't know, man. I just miss a good secret identity and the drama that brings.
100%. It's lazy writing that keeps that from not happening anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing with MCU. That's why like all of their characters except for Spider-Man, none of them have secret identities. And I think they're like, it's harder to write.
Yeah, for sure. Then we get a fun little scene of Dick Grayson mansplaining, jumping from train to Barbara. Here's my big complaint with this book. It's so horny. It's so horny for no reason at all.
In all fairness, so are we.
Okay, but we're not paid to write comics.
Yet, DC, call us if you want some horny books.
We'll make Tom Taylor's look like fucking Disney Channel, all right?
Have you heard our Mad Libs?
So
that's the title of the episode, by the way. DC, call us if you want some horny books.
Yeah, for sure. Do you remember Double Dare? Like there's one of them, but they're twins.
Oh,
from
yeah.
From the 90s series. So they're in this and they catch up to her.
Really quick, you're talking about being horny. The Wizard Comics, their magazine, they used to like do like little bubbles to add to the there's one where Double Dare were like wrapped around Dick Grayson like on the cover of a Nightwing, and like they're like, oh, it's like they're saying something like, is that your utility belt poking me? Like that. They're saying something like that. And like Dick Grayson's like, think about baseball. Think baseball.
That's really funny. So, okay, hold on. Let me find the part. All right. So they find Double Dare on this train because what's her name took over the train, kicked everyone out. And Babs is like, tell us why you've taken the train. She's like, there are people after me and they're a lot less friendly than you. And it's this real serious moment. And then she runs and they catch her. And then she goes, I miss this, Nightwing. Me running, you chasing and grabbing. And then Babs turns around and she goes, chasing and grabbing, eh? And it's just like, she's going to go from this, like, I need help, people are after me, to, I sure miss these bondage sessions, Dick. You know what I mean? It's just so bad. It's so bad. And anyway, then they're talking about how someone took this Dare's sister and they come up with this plan to get her back. And Dick's like, but where could we get another athletic redhead at short notice? So then bam, Barbara puts on the Double Dare costume and you know, later in the book, she still has it, and she's like, should I keep this costume for some chasing and grabbing? It's like, Jesus Christ, Tom Taylor, can you fucking like take a cold shower before you write these scripts? You know what I mean? Um, and I can't find it right now, but there was another horny ass line in there too. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, what is this book? Um, so yeah, anyway, the real issue is that it's what's his name, Heart Stealer, um, that's doing all this shit. And Double Dare gets away. They save the sister and then they run away. So I don't know. I mean, it's not good, but I'm docking points for being extra horny in places where it shouldn't be horny, because if the whole book were that tone, that's one thing, right? Like sex criminals, sure, you expect that book to be a little horny.
Yeah.
But Nightwing, when she's like, there's people after me and I gotta save my sister. Remember when we fucked, Dick? It's like, come on, what are you talking about? It's just weird.
Well, no, it's because like as they're as he was chasing, she just saw that juicy booty just bounce up and down. She's like, oh my god.
I don't even have a sister.
Yeah. It's like all I know is how to play the rusty trombone now.
So yeah, that's gonna be like a 5, I think.
Okay. So my next book, it's Superman #5 by Joshua Williamson and Jamal Campbell on the art. And I'm gonna say I'm a little like I like this cover. I think it's a neat cover, but and I'm not spoiling anything because you know how that last issue ended with Jimmy being like, I love her. They really should have gone like golden age with the cover, with like Jimmy Olsen being like, she's my love, and have this like big, like they should have gone with that. That's my opinion. But like, come on. This, like I said, nice cover, could have been better. But story-wise, I absolutely love it. I think this is so good. I love Banshee and Jimmy. I love Superman in this. I love how he's written. The way these bad guys do things, it's very smart. They do things very well. Superman's written, like I said, awesomely. Lex is written really well. This is, and like, there's this one part, like, because the way Campbell does the art is so good. And there was one, like, all the different stuff. And there was one spot early on, though, where I was like, holy crap, way to just be the fucking boss, man. Like, I'm going to try to find it really quick because, like I said, super cool way of doing art related stuff. Oh yeah, right here. So Superman, as you can see, he flies and goes from panel to panel like that. Super smart way of doing things. Just such a great book. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. It is my pick of the week. I loved it.
Wow, high praise. Wonder Woman 800. It's written by Becky Cloonan and Michael W. Conrad, and goodness, the artists. Joelle Jones, Aletha Martinez, Mark Morales, Nick Robles, Todd Knox, Skylar Partridge, Coley Hamner, and Jen Bartel. And then the backup is by Tom King and Daniel Sampier. Dude, the Joelle Jones stuff, like, you read Wonder Girl, you know how good that art was. She was like, that wasn't even my final form. I mean, look at this.
That's amazing.
And she only has a couple pages, but I wish she'd done everything. That's her drawing of Diana. I mean, nice. It's just nuts. It's just insane. But yeah, this whole thing is just Diana's being healed in the House of the Oracles or whatever. And she's jumping around from dream to dream. She talks to like Yara and Donna and Cassie, even talks to Bruce and Clark, and just kind of, everyone tells them how they're inspired by her and what she means to them. And I don't know, she kind of just finds herself and her purpose again. And it was just a nice way to wrap up this whole series, I think, by Clunan and Conrad. You can tell how much they love Wonder Woman. And I think that her conversations with all these other characters just make sense. It feels like something that they would say to each other. And I like how it wrapped up. It was just a true, really good ending. Um, then we get to the backup story. It's clearly a future story because Damian and Jonathan are Batman and Superman. And then Trinity shows up. Uh, Lizzie is her, like Lizzie Prince. Elizabeth Marsden Prince is her full name. She goes by Trinity. She
I like that she
has,
took James Marsden, her father's last name.
no, it's spelled different,
Ah, shoot.
but she has three lassos. There's a gold one, a silver one, and a black one, and they all do something different. But anyway, she needs Damien and Jonathan to each do a part of this trial. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever, I guess. But then at the end, she talks to some king. Uh, and I don't even know who he was the king of, but he's going to tell her a story about Wonder Woman and, how she defeated him or something. Whatever. I don't know. I mean, it was like 5 pages or whatever. So I don't know if I'm gonna read that first one of theirs or not. I'm gonna say probably not,
Yeah.
but the art's really nice. I mean, I'll just show a page of where Trinity makes her debut. I mean, it's nice art for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just I know the story is gonna be a Tom King story.
Yep.
But the rest was really good. I probably would have given it like a 9.5. So I'll say an 8.5.
Right on. I just have our mutuals.
Me too.
Sweet. Okay, so let's do Batgirls, Godzilla, World's Finest, Saga, and then finish up with the Hulk.
Sounds good.
Okay, so on the Clunan and Conrad train, we have Batgirls number 19. And while you were doing your stuff, I should have opened up. I think it's on the last page. So yeah, it's Becky Cloonan, Michael W. Conrad doing the story, and Robbie Rodriguez on the art. And I mean, I know how you feel, but how did you feel about this final issue of this very good series?
It was good, man. It was a good issue. Apart from like the last couple of pages, it feels like it would have been the end of any other arc. But
Yeah.
then, uh, we get that little extra moment between Cass and Stephanie, and it's good. Again, Clunan and Conrad having to say goodbye to their other really fucking good book.
Yeah.
You can tell how much they love these characters,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a really good send off in my opinion.
Want to show this really good, great art page too. When she
Yeah,
gets shot through the chest, the way that's done is so good. But no, I enjoyed this story. I thought it was a little weaker than some of their other ones, but it's also like it's a damn shame that it's ending because it's still like at the worst, this book is like really good or like really solid, and then like at its best, it's amazing. So yeah, it's too bad.
yeah. I think, and I wonder if maybe they just didn't know when this was gonna get canceled. But I wish that arc where Cass saves Steph from her dad would have been like the finale, because that would have been like a real
That
big
was
punch.
yeah, like I mean, they had stuff they like were setting up, like this. They had this kind of setup, so they were wanting to, in that way. So I get that, but it's like that stuff, like the Freaky Friday stuff, which I was like, this is dumb, was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like it. That was its peak, in my opinion. And then everything after that was like it was fine. It's not quite as good.
I agree. But I still love this. I'm gonna give it a 9. The series as a whole, I mean, even if an issue was just okay, I'd still say the series is a 9 for me. Like I would recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, I'm 8 and then 8 for the series as a whole. I like it a lot, and I would recommend it to most people. I think it's really, really solid. And if you're listening to this, y'all should just buy it from, old comic headquarters on Telegraph Road
You
in
should.
St. Louis, Missouri. Opening up a second shop in Schlegel, I think. I think he's going to buy up some ground and open up a secondary comic book shop in the bustling metropolis known as Schlegel, Illinois.
Yes, it would do so well there. All right. Next is Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons. It's by Frank Thierry and Inaki Miranda. So, dude, I just gotta say, by the way, I have been watching and reading a lot of pirate themed stuff here lately.
Yeah.
And I know that we had talked about it way back when this was announced, but I forgot. So when I opened this and I was like, oh shit, it's Godzilla with pirates. Like I couldn't have been more thrilled to read it.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
It is. It's really cool. And this is another thing too, where it's like the way that the artist draws stuff. It's so awesome. Like, I love that. There's other pages too where I'm like, this is just so freaking rad. Like, I don't know. I thought it was a great time. The story itself's kind of slow, but like this one has that nice cliffhanger. I'm gonna kind of compare it to the book that you didn't read with Wildsend, where I'm like, it's kind of setting stuff up, telling this story, and it's like, yeah, this is kind of drug in parts, but then like that big thing at the end, you're like, oh, this is rad as hell. So like, it's like it all worked. Whereas like I said, Wildsend really didn't work for me. This 100% worked. I'm also biased because I'm a Godzilla fan.
Yeah. And I'm extra biased because I'm also a pirate fan. So what do you rate it?
I'm probably 8.5. I liked it a lot.
Yep. I think 8.5 sounds good to me too.
All right, so World's Finest number 16 by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. It's fun.
I think it's really fun.
Yeah, like one thing I didn't quite like was all of the superheroes. I mean, like I get Flash being there, but then like all of the other superheroes just show up. Like after Metamorpho was like fighting, at that one factory and stuff, and the Metal Man died, and then it's just like, where did all of the other guys like come from? Like I get Flash because like he had Robin, but then it's like Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Firestorm, and Green Lantern. Why? Like, am I missing something? Because that just seems like they kind of came out of left field with that, but
it does. I really like that part though. Firestorm shows up and he transmutes the kryptonite so that it doesn't hurt Superman anymore. We just don't get Firestorm ever anymore.
No, so, I really think it's just because it's like if you're writing him correctly, he's too OP. And so you have to come up with ways to make him not, and then it's like he's then just a fucking useless character. So it's it's like there's no good way of having him.
Yep. Except for a fun little moment like this. It was perfect.
Or if you're Brad Meltzer, you have him get killed.
Yeah. Brad loves killing people.
He's just like, hey, let's kill him too. I'm like, why? I don't know. He looks weird.
Fucking freak. My favorite part of this book, though, it's a little part with Batman and Ollie. Ollie's like, he gets this bow and arrow. He's like, this is the best you could do. Batman says, I have faith. It's a 1 in a million shot. The instant Ted distracts Ultra Morpho, make it count. Ollie says, this will blow my secret identity, And Batman smirks and says, I'm Batman. Everyone will think I did it. And Ollie smirks back and says, like you could. And then he shoots the shot and hits it. I loved it. I thought that was so good.
Yeah. Like, that's one thing. Mark Waid writes Batman a little more jolly than most people.
He does.
I figured
And
you were gonna like the Hawkman stuff, like Dan Moore drawing Hawkman. I figured you were gonna be like, this is 100% in my alleyway.
yep, I was getting there. I liked it. The armor was cool. It was fun to see him just crack the shit out of Kellex. just folded him like a lawn chair, man. It was funny.
Right.
But yeah, any time you get to see Plastic Man and the Metal Men and Metamorpho just making fun shapes and taking out the bad guys. This is just one of those fun comics for me, man.
Yep.
It's still serious, but not really, right? So yeah, I really like this issue. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, I'm probably at a 9 too. I liked it, like that one little bit where I'm like, I don't really get this. And maybe it makes sense if we were more like up on the book. Because it's been a couple months since we've read the whole series, so if we started from like when this arc started, like in trade format, it might be like, oh yeah, no, it does make sense because these reasons, but I don't remember those reasons. So
one bummer, that last page says to be concluded.
Yeah.
And I know that those, well, I don't know if Dan Mora is, but at least Mark Waid is doing World's Finest Teen Titans. But I thought that they were just going to happen at the same time. But it looks like this one will end to start up Teen Titans. And, I'm fine with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Everything's got to end. And if Mark's going to continue to do just these fun series for different groups or characters, then I'm on board for it.
Yep, same here. I keep looking at my door to my attic behind me. I'm like, how creepy would it be if like it just pushed open?
You'll know because I will yell. What is it, like a staircase up to an attic?
No, it's like, I've only opened it once, but it's kind of like there's steps, but not much. It's just kind of like up because it's so hot in there. I haven't explored it much, but I was like, yeah, I don't really want to mess with that.
Fair enough. Maybe you'll find a couple of milk crates full of Golden Age comics up there.
My sister found like a bunch of coins in her old house, like that someone had, and they were old coins, and they ended up being worth a lot of money.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about I'll start Saga off because I know you really liked Hulk, so I'll let you be the one that does that.
Sure.
So Saga by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan picks up where the last one left off. It's really, really good. I fucking loved it. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was good, man. Again, they're just taking out certain characters here and there.
Yeah, rips your heart out because like out of all the characters there, I was like, oh, nothing bad will happen to her. She's also the most likable one out of all three, or out of three, because Lion Cat is still the best of all of them.
Yeah.
But
and also we know what that girl's life has been, and it just makes it that much worse.
Yeah. But I love this so much.
I love Squire right now. He's crazy.
He is.
I love his fuck around and find out mentality here.
Like, it's just so good. Brian does a great job writing. Fiona does a great job drawing. It's like, oh yeah, no surprise here. No, this is another really, really good book. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I loved it.
I'm giving it a 10 as well. If it weren't for this next book, it would have been my pick of the week.
Right on.
Which brings us to our final book, The Incredible Hulk #1. It's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Nick Klein. I just briefly said how I felt about it. Casey, did you like it?
Not near as much as you. I liked it, okay, but it didn't rock my socks.
Fair enough. They said they were gonna do the Hulk, but with horror, and I think we got that.
Yeah, it like after I don't know. My whole, like, a big thing that I'm kind of annoyed with is like Immortal Hulk was Hulk with horror, and then it's like, oh, more of this, and then we get Spaceship Hulk, and then now we get a different kind of horror Hulk, and it's like, yeah, just like a regular Hulk story, please. And they're like, no, not for you. um, but no, it like I liked it. I think it might be more enjoyable when I know more what's going on. Like that's one of the big things with this. It's like no clue what's going on yet. It's interesting, but it's like who knows? Who knows where this is going? I have faith.
Another
I have faith in Phil Kenny Johnson, though.
another difference between us is you're reading all these Hulk series and I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's new for me.
And
And
you're also the horror boy of the group.
yeah, I know, right? But dude, that early stuff with the tomb and those demons, I mean, I just think that shit's cool. It's
Yeah.
really cool. I can't wait to see what happens going forward. So yeah, I loved it. Can't wait for the next issue. And like I said, it's a 10 for me. Definitely my pick of the week.
Yeah, we are really different with this one. I'm at a 7.5. I liked it, but again, it's still one of those things where it's like it did an okay job to make me want to like I am coming back. Like Phil Kenny Johnson has earned that. Like he's earned at least like 50 issues at least
Yeah.
before I turn my back on him. So I'm not too worried about it not being bad. It's just like it didn't really catch me as well as I wanted it to. But you excited for anything coming out this next week, man?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna go with where was it? Thor 35, I believe it's Torun Grönbeck's final issue, which is sad. A lot of last issues from books that I like. Um, but anyway, I'll say that. I'm gonna go Silk, and then just to go DC, I'll say Green Arrow. But She-Hulk's up there too.
Yeah. So for me, it's gonna be Ghost Rider, She-Hulk, and The Last Ronin.
Right on.
Okay. So like a couple weeks back, we talked about writers or artists that you would want to switch companies. Like I mentioned Dan Slott. I was like, yeah, I think he would do really well switching over to different companies. So like if there's someone out there that you're like, yeah, I really want them to switch. And then if you have like an idea of who you want them, like what company they or what character you want them on, bonus points for you.
Um, yeah, so one that comes to mind, and this might sound a little weird, but Jason Aaron.
No, I
I
get
just
that. He was
I
on my
think
list.
oh really?
Yeah.
I think that he like the last few things of his that I've read, it's just been kind of stale. And I think if he jumped ship to DC, there's lots of opportunity there.
Yep.
Um, I don't really want this, but like if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna say Jed McKay. I love him here lately, and again, I would just want to see him take that Moon Knight and Strange magic over to a DC character.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say Justice League Dark, just because I know he can fit that vibe.
Oh, for sure.
Another one is Rick Remender. Rick only does create her own stuff right now, which is fine. He's earned that. I think he's credited with just a handful or less issues of the Atom from the early 2000s, I think.
Maybe
But
the Ryan ones, or
I don't remember. I don't remember which series it was. But yeah, again, I want him. He's done plenty of amazing stuff at Marvel, but I would love to see him take on some DC stuff. Maybe take on a character that I don't care about and make me love them, sort of thing.
yeah.
And then I'll go artist and say we were just talking about her, Fiona Staples. I would love to see her do some superhero stuff. It'd be so nice. So there we go.
Right on. Okay, so first one is gonna be obviously Dan Slott because it's got like the Dan Slott category, and I'm gonna go with like because he used to do a She-Hulk book. That's kind of where he got like big.
Yep.
And so I'd say, it's supposed to be like a fun kind of humor book. So him doing a Jimmy Olsen and then like working at Superman and then doing Superman for 30 years and then being like, get away from Superman, back to Marvel, get back on Spider-Man, where we can just yell him for that. I
Yeah.
think that would be good. I think that'd be good. Then with this one, it's 100%. I don't want Joshua Williamson to leave DC, but I do want them to make Spider-Man better. And I think Joshua Williamson could write the hell out of Spider-Man and make it like a good book again, because I've heard nothing but nightmarish things about this current Spider-Man run.
Yeah. You know who I
uh,
think would also be a good fit for Spider-Man?
who?
Jeremy Adams.
Yeah, 100%. And then I had Jason Aaron, like I said, and I think Jason Aaron would be very good on Green Lantern because he did a lot of that weird. I mean, I've not read a lot of his Thor, but I know he did a lot of weird lore stuff with that. I think he could add a lot to the Green Lantern lore and make it really good. And then I'm trying to think of like someone that does an artist too, so I can, primarily do that. Now let's go do something silly because I'm gonna be a little bitch. Let's say Al Ewing, but on like a book I don't care about. Just put him somewhere where I'll never have to read it.
Madame Xanadu, 50
Yeah,
issues.
there we go. Immortal Madam Z.
Madam X. Madam X.
Oh, I know, but no, he's calling it Madam Z because it's part of his immortal shit.
The immortal shit verse. All right. Well, I just checked, and before we wrap things up, we actually had a YouTube comment.
Ooh.
It comes from a friend of the show, Preston. He says, "Hey dudes, as far as my opinion on Bill Skarsgård being Swamp Thing, I say sure, why not? I haven't seen any of his work, but since he is over 6 foot tall and is used to wearing the prosthetics, I say it sounds like a good choice." And then he says, "I also have a question for you two. What are some of your favorite new villains/rivals? It seems like we either get what works and has been around, like a Kingpin, but rarely do we get a new villain that is unique and interesting enough to care about. Rabble, for instance, is a new Miles Morales villain that I love the design for, and it makes me want to know more about that character. Any new ones that you can think of that you really liked? Thanks." I can think of one if you need a minute to think.
Yeah, I need to think because like my brain's just farting on me. I will say most of the new villains they usually do look pretty cool. Like most of the new character designs, it's like boy, they're just shoving these down our throats, and it's harder for me to care about. Punchline,
Right.
but I'll let you say yours.
The one that comes to mind, and when I say new, I'm saying it within the last 10 years.
Okay.
Mr. Bloom. When
Yeah.
he first came out, was in the New 52 during Scott Snyder's Batman, and I didn't really care then, but anyone that's been listening for a while knows that he was a big part of Task Force Z, which is DC like Suicide Squad meets zombies, and it was really, really good. And Mr. Bloom was the highlight of that whole book for me. He's hilarious and crazy, and it's like, dang, I'm a Mr. Bloom stan now.
Yeah, for me, I'm not gonna lie. I really don't know off the top of my head because it's like usually when they introduce these new characters, they like no matter how cool they seem, a lot of these writers like it just seems like they want this creation to be in some type of live action thing, and so they're like we have to push these characters hard so that they become a favorite so then they can be in a movie and I can make royalty money off of it. That's how it feels anyway. It's like why else would we get everyone's favorite Southern Belle punchline and all of this stuff, or
I can think
like,
of one for you, I think.
well, let's hear it.
What's that guy in Ghost Rider? It's like Exhaust or something like
Oh,
that.
exhaust. I mean, that's the most dumb 90s character. Like I like it because of that, but it's not like a
Well,
genuine, like
that's a good enough reason,
yeah, I
though.
mean like that's one of those ones where it's like I would I wouldn't read an exhaust book.
The hell you wouldn't.
Anyway, he's dead. He died in the last issue. And
Spoiler.
a Ghost Rider villain's never gonna come back to life. A demon can't come back from the dead.
Well, damn it.
He
Spoils that.
he did get damned to hell.
Anyway, there we go. We've got Exhaust and Mr. Bloom.
Ooh, that's a double feature. DC Marvel team up.
Dude, wouldn't that be insane?
It
It's
would.
like what does the writer have over these two companies? I'm just saying though, what's his name? Rosenberg would write the hell out of that.
Oh yeah. We'd do a Rosenberg and Benjamin Percy collab.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you,
Alex
Preston.
Ross on the art though.
Oh my gosh, that would be so insane. I'd pay $10 for that book.
Same.
All right. And now I think that brings us to the end of the episode. So closing plugs. If you would head over to facebook.com/2worldspodcast and give the page a like. You can also find us on Instagram at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, please go to our YouTube channel. It's 2 Worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
Let us know down below if you're as horny as Tom Taylor is, and do you enjoy all of the horniness in his books? And let your friends know about this podcast. Say, hey, I know we haven't talked. It's been
We've made that joke way too many times.
He's like, it's been a good long while since we've talked. You've lost some friends, you've lost some family and stuff, and this might not be the best time to tell you this. There's this really good podcast, and then you tell them about this podcast. They'll be mad at first, okay? But then they'll be like, oh, that fucking dick, I can't believe that he'd bring up this podcast. And they'd see it on Spotify, on the hot new podcast that you should be listening to. We're on there if after you search for us, and they'll hit listen and like, that son of a bitch was right. I do love this. I guess I don't need a mom anymore because I have these guys. But we'd love to stay in chat, but we got to get gay married because, why not? Bye, guys.
Bye.